Hello and welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? Hope you're well. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make ginger bug. In case you're wondering what ginger bug is, it's a wild fermentation starter made from fresh ginger, sugar and water. It's kind of similar to a sourdough starter. It uses the wild yeast and beneficial bacteria naturally present on the skin of the ginger. When cultivated, this living culture acts as a natural agent to carbonate and ferment homemade beverages. When you combine grated ginger, sugar and water, the microbes on the ginger consume the sugar and multiply, releasing carbon dioxide. This process creates a bubbly, probiotic-rich liquid that can be used to naturally carbonate and flavor your own healthy sodas, ginger beer or lemonade. I'm really excited about this one because it's my first time making my own ginger bug. In other words, ginger bug is a fermentation starter for drinks, just as we have sourdough starter for baked goods. If you're interested in learning how to make your own ginger bug, please keep watching. For this recipe, I'll be using fresh organic ginger. Organic ginger because I'll not be peeling the skin off the ginger, and the ginger bug process makes use of the wild yeast and beneficial bacteria which are naturally present on the skin of the ginger. I've also got 2 tablespoons of white sugar. If you could lay your hands on organic sugar, that would also work well. I've got 2 cups of water and a 1-liter jar. Another reason why I would recommend using organic ginger for your ginger bug is because the bacteria on the ginger needs to feed on the sugar and needs to be processed by the microbes. Ginger bug needs real sugar, such as white refined sugar, organic cane sugar, rapadura or succanut, brown sugar, muscovado or even coconut sugar. I would not recommend using 0-calorie sweeteners or sugar alcohol such as xylitol, sorbitol, stevia, as these forms of sugar are indigestible to the wild yeast and will cause your ginger bug to fail. Here's an overview of everything I'll be using in this ginger bug video. Next, I'll rinse the ginger to get rid of any debris or dirt. I'll be using just tap water and a sponge to access parts of the ginger that's hard to reach. I'm just using water and sponge with no washing up liquid on it, as we need the beneficial bacteria and wild yeast on the skin of the ginger. Now that I'm done cleaning the ginger, here's what they look like. Next, I'll prepare the ginger by chopping them. You could grate them or chop them up using a food processor, but I'm just gonna chop them as that's my preferred option for this video. Also, I was too lazy at the point of filming this video and not looking forward to washing the food processor after use. I'm just gonna chop the ginger roughly. Now that I'm done chopping the ginger, this is what they look like. I'll not be using all the ginger at a go. I'll save some which I'll be using to feed the ginger bug daily. Now let's prepare the ginger bug. I'll start by adding 2 tablespoons of sugar to the jar. Then I'll attach a funnel to the mouth of the jar and add 2 cups of water. Then I'll add 2 tablespoons of ginger, stir and seal the jar. I'll save the remaining chopped ginger and keep it in the refrigerator as I'll be using it daily to feed the ginger bug. So that's all for day 1. I'll place this on the kitchen counter and leave to ferment. It's day 2 and I'll open up the jar and add 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 tablespoons of ginger. I'll stir and put the lid back on and place on the kitchen counter to keep fermenting. I remembered mentioning earlier that the chopped ginger was placed in the refrigerator, but I make sure to let it sit outside for 2 to 3 hours to get to room temperature, so it's at a similar temperature to the ginger bug before feeding. It's day 3 and I'll repeat the same process as the previous day. That's 2 tablespoons of ginger and 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'll stir and let it sit on the kitchen counter to keep fermenting. It's day 4 and just before I feed the ginger bug, if you take a closer look at this clip, you'll see a bit of froth beginning to form at the top part of the jar and a slight bubbling effect, which means fermentation activity is now peaking. Now I'll go ahead to feed the ginger bug with 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 tablespoons of ginger. Again, I'll seal the jar and set it on the kitchen counter to keep fermenting. It's day 5 and here's what the inside of the jar is looking like. Looks like the fermentation activity is now in full swing. I'll go ahead and feed the ginger bug off camera. Again, 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 tablespoons of ginger. Stir and leave on the kitchen counter to keep fermenting. Today's day 6 and I'll go ahead to feed the ginger bug again with 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 tablespoons of ginger. Then I'll stir and leave to sit on the kitchen counter to keep fermenting. As you can tell, the ginger bug is now looking cloudy compared to the clear and pristine color it had on day 1. Here's day 7. I'm gonna feed the ginger bug as I've done in the previous clips. And here's day 7 of the ginger bug just after feeding. At this point, it was already smelling fantastic and tasted good. Imagine what a sweet and sour or fermented ginger drink would taste like. Yeah, that's what the ginger bug tasted like. And can you see the little bubbles traveling to the top of the jar? Really happy that the ginger bug is now super active. At this point, the ginger bug is ready to be used. All I need to do is measure the amount of ginger bug I need, add it to ginger, lemon, orange or tea, and set it aside on the kitchen counter to ferment for a couple of days. When you do this, after a couple of days, you begin to notice some bubbling activity due to the presence of carbon dioxide, which is responsible for the fizziness. You will also need to burp the jar daily to release excess carbon dioxide and taste it from time to time until it reaches the desired fermentation level. That way, you've made your own fermented soda or fizzy drink, all natural. I'll be making a step-by-step guide video on how to use ginger bug to make carbonated drinks, so please stay tuned to this channel. Now, let's talk about a few frequently asked questions regarding ginger bug. A few points worth mentioning regarding how to maintain your ginger bug is that if your ginger bug is ready and you're not ready to use it, you can transfer it to a refrigerator and feed it once a week to keep it alive. Then, whenever you're ready to use it, all you need to do is take it out of the refrigerator, let it sit at room temperature, and feed it for a couple of days till it becomes active. Because while in the refrigerator, the ginger bug is now dormant. So to reactivate the ginger bug, you need to keep it out of the refrigerator, let it get to room temperature, then feed it for a couple of days, the same ratio, which is the ginger and the sugar. Feed it every day, maybe for 4 days to activate the ginger bug before using. So when you're ready to use your ginger bug, all you need to do is use a measuring cup to measure the amount you would need, add it to your drink, and that's it, you're all good to go. You might be wondering and saying to yourself, will my ginger bug be too sweet if I keep feeding it with sugar every day? The answer is no, because your ginger bug will not permanently stay sweet, because the wild yeast and the beneficial bacteria in the ginger bug will actively consume the sugar you feed it and convert it to carbon dioxide. So what happens is, right after feeding the ginger bug, it's going to taste sweet for a while, but as the microbes break down the sugar, the sweetness will transform into a mildly acidic, which is a slightly sweet and sour flavor. Another point worth mentioning is, if your ginger bug constantly tastes very sweet, flat, and is not bubbling or not showing any signs of fermentation activity, it might be a sign of overfeeding, meaning you are giving it too much sugar than its micropopulation can eat. So I'm just going to give an example. Imagine a child being fed constantly with little to no time to allow for their food to digest before feeding them the next meal. Eventually, their system will get backed up and they would need intervention. So in the case of the ginger bug, if you notice that your ginger bug is too sweet, flat, and has no activity, what I would recommend is to skip the feeding maybe for a day and reduce the ratio. So as an example, if you're feeding your ginger bug with 2 tablespoons of ginger with 2 tablespoons of sugar, you might want to reduce that to 1 tablespoon of ginger and 1 tablespoon of sugar. This will eventually help the microbes regain strength and continue being active over time. You might also be wondering, why do I need to keep feeding the ginger bug with ginger and sugar? So the reason is because the ginger is what creates the microbes and the wild yeast, while the sugar is what the microbes feed on. So to keep the ginger bug alive, we constantly need to feed it by adding ginger, which is more microbes, and adding sugar to feed the microbes. And the cycle continues. So both go hand in hand, and I wouldn't advise to leave out one process of feeding your ginger bug for the other. So I guess we've come to the end of this video on how to make ginger bug, maintain it, and feed it. I'll be making a separate video on how to use ginger bug in drinks. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget to click the notification bell icon so that you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. If you've got any questions or suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer them. The full instructions and ingredient list can be found in the description box below. As always, thank you for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye.